Well, good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana weather. Boy, it's sure nice to see a little bit of warmth, isn't it? I ought to put warmth in quotation marks, but over the past few days, what we have dealt with, this sure seems like warmth. We were able to melt some of that snow and ice crud away, and that's always a good thing. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to stay cool for a little while, as you'll be able to see here in just a moment. Today's video update, sponsored by High Voltage Mobile DJ Service. You can contact Nathan at 630-9465 or visit him on the web at djhighvoltage.com. They've got a great DJ setup, mobile stage, and the whole nine yards. Great laser light show, all kinds of great things. So be sure to check them out if you're in need of a DJ. We're also sponsored tonight by Metal Magic Paintless Dent Repair, Traveling Hail Team and Chrome Accessories. You can contact Chad at 698-8555. You can see some great before and after pictures here of the type of work they can do. They do a great job, and with hail season and severe weather threats coming up, it may not look like it right now, but folks, it's going to come eventually. It's only a matter of time. Keep them down. You'll certainly need them. All right. Future radar here we'll look at in just a second, but I should say we're looking at live radar right now. Here it's 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday night, March the 4th, 2014. Got some snow up to our north, and that's not going to affect us, thankfully. Temperatures in our area are starting to fall back into the little bit. We made it up to about 36 today, but we're slowly falling back here into the upper 20s. As we go ahead and take a look at future radar and we put it into motion for the night, what you're going to see is that we're expecting a dry next couple of days. There's that snow moving off to our north, but you see it's not really going to affect us. In fact, it sort of fizzles out once it gets into Indiana. We've just got some bone dry air in place now, so that's not going to be very conducive to much of anything falling around here. No worries as far as the eye can see on future radar. In fact, there was a chance that we could end up seeing a few snow flurries on Wednesday night. Had that in the forecast for the past couple of days. I've removed that from the forecast because, it just pretty much looks like that's a done deal now. The next chance that we have for any precipitation really comes in on Friday night and Saturday. Here we are. Let's just go ahead and take us to late Friday night. Here's Friday afternoon at 1. The GFS doesn't have much of anything moving in. You see a few sprinkles maybe here down in southwest Indiana, these lighter gray shades. Then as we go into the overnight hours on Friday night, in fact, the GFS skirts this whole system up to our north and then maybe just takes us with a few sprinkles over us. Now, some of the earlier runs of the GFS from today had us with a little bit more aggressive on precip, but really this system is going to be moisture starved, so I've only put a 20% chance of seeing anything on Saturday out of this. I think it's going to be more of an isolated type of a case rather than everybody getting something out of this. Still a chance that we could see a little bit of a wintry mix if it hangs around long enough on Saturday night, but I'm not even overly confident in that. I've continued to mention it in the forecast anyway because there's a very slight chance of it, but again, only a 20% chance, so certainly it's not going to be anything big or anything to worry about at this point. In fact, we're going to warm up pretty nicely into the 40s. Then high pressure takes charge for early next week, and as you can see, the system developing down here to the south sort of skirts through. We've got another cold front sort of occluding up in here, and watch that move through here. That'll bring sort of a reinforcing shot of a little bit of a cooler air, but it doesn't look like we're going to see any teens or 20s for high, so it's not going to be bitterly cold at this point, but it does look like we're going to continue to stay well below normal. And as you go through the extended period, yes, you see those blue lines move south of us with precipitation moving in. So again, you see a few chances for snow. This doesn't look like anything major at all. There was some signs to this particular system later in the month, but becoming a pretty decent size, either rainstorm or snowstorm. The models have been wavering back and forth on this. We'll keep our eye on it. Right now, it doesn't look overly impressive on this model run. It has looked fairly impressive on other model runs. It's going to vary back and forth at this point in time, so it's nothing that we need to worry about at this point. But middle of the month, we'll keep an eye out for something bigger that could come, and we'll just kind of leave it at that for right now. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we have any relief in sight. You continue to see the cold pattern stick in as long as we've got these blue lines over us. That's remember the first blue lines, the rain, snow, changeover line. So that means it's cold enough to potentially snow as long as those blue lines are over us. And that's just not good. Our normal temperature is 54 this time of the year. Doesn't look like we're going to see much of anything normal. In fact, let's just take a look at our height anomalies. Remember on this, basically whenever you see these brown shades, that's sort of trending towards normal. It's above normal by the time temperatures generally by the time you see these more orange shades, but the blue and the greens are the below normal temperatures. And what you see as you go through this over through the next 15 days is, my goodness, we kind of hang out in those blue shades and even the green shades at times. So below normal temperatures just kind of stay. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 15-day raw data for Evansville this time. Did Huntingburg yesterday. We'll do Evansville today. Maybe we'll do some of the other cities around in coming days just to kind of spread the love around and keep it fair. But what you can see is if our normal temperature is 54, we don't even hit normal over the next 15 days in the outlook. Unfortunately, I'm just not seeing normal temperatures in sight. Maybe on March the 19th we get close to it according to the model data, but the good thing is I don't see any bitterly cold temperatures. The bad news is I continue to see below normal temperatures. In fact, if we take a look at this is a product I have not really used much at all for you guys. It's a very controversial product. What it is a 45-day model, and models really out to 2 weeks struggle, let alone 45 days. But what this is essentially a climate model, and this kind of gives us, it's ran very regularly, and it allows us to sort of get a hint of what it could be like up to 45 days out. Just height, just temperature anomalies. Is it going to be warmer than normal? Is it going to be cooler than normal? Remember, it's the same color scheme as you saw on the other one, so you got your, really you start at yellows and oranges and grays, and you're the above normal. If you start into the greens and blues, you are below normal. Let's just take it in the 5-day chunks here rather than the 10-day chunks. Here's what you see over the next, really, here we are all the way to all the way in towards the end of March here, and do you see a return to normal in sight? Look at this. We stay in either light blue shades or at times even in these green shades. In fact, here we are all the way out, and this is predicting until April 18th, and we are still below normal by as much as 4 degrees Celsius or more. And of course, remember, that's not a 1-to-1 whenever it comes to degrees Celsius, so we're still looking at temperatures we still could be looking at 10 and 20 degrees below normal temperatures, even out as far as the eye can see. Unfortunately, we just don't have a warm-up inside. I wish I could say, oh, it's going to be great, we're going to have an early spring. I'm not seeing that at this time. I guess that's better for our lawn mowing. We may not have to start mowing our lawns as early this year, but I would certainly like to see a return to more normal weather at least. The good thing is, for right now, I don't see any major snowstorms on the horizon. Let's keep our fingers crossed, maybe even both of them, and pray a little harder that maybe this is the last snow that we've seen this year. I can't guarantee you that. The pattern certainly says that we could see some more snow, but right now I don't see anything major on the horizon. Hopefully that's gone. But what I can see on the horizon is lots more cool weather as far as the eye can see. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but always better to be prepared for it. If you're running low on the wood supply, folks, if you burn wood for heat like I know many of us do around here, and better start chopping some more wood if you're running low, folks. Unfortunately, it just doesn't look like an early spring is coming. All right, let's go to southernindianaweather.com. You can get your 7-day forecast, sponsored by Ubelor and Sons. We're going down to about 15 tonight. I don't have it on here. It's going to be another cold night under partly cloudy skies. Partly cloudy and cold tomorrow, a high around 38. Light winds, that'll be nice. And then, hey, look at Thursday. The warming trend continues up to 41, 48, mostly sunny, and much warmer on Friday. Who would have thought that 48 would be really warm, but you're going to love it. Chance of a few isolated showers on Saturday. Again, the models are not aggressive with this. That's why I've only kept it at a 20% chance on Saturday. Don't think this is going to be anything major at this point. We'll keep an eye on it, though. Again, I have kept that wintry mix possible on Saturday night in there, but no snow accumulation out of this. In fact, I'll be surprised if we even see any snowflakes. I may even remove that on the next forecast update if the models keep trending the way they are. We'll see how that goes. And then for Sunday and Monday, hey, look at this. We're starting to warm back up to the near 50 again by Sunday. Monday into the 50s with some isolated showers. But, hey, I'll take some isolated showers if we can get back up to at least a normal temperature for this time of the year. Unfortunately, though, as you have seen, it looks like we get up to normal temperatures. But remember whenever I said we've got a reinforcing shot of cool air coming next week, we got that cold front moving through. Yeah, it looks like temperatures are going to fall behind this again out of the 50s. So it'll be a nice little taste for while we can get it. Unfortunately, it just doesn't look like it's going to stick around for too long. All right, that is it for tonight's video, folks. We'll have another one of these out tomorrow night for Southern Indiana weather. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Have a great night, folks.